Sorry, just moments like this, it's either she's the greatest living actor in the world, or I'm wrong. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Yatagarasu. It has been a while, and I'm going to say something I said in just a previous recording. I apologize if the episodes aren't coming out on the timely schedule that I had put out for them. Longtime viewers of the show will know that I have been dealing with health issues for the last couple of years, and the last week has been a bit rough for me. So I think I've come up with a plan that I'm hoping to be able to follow to get us all caught back up again, get a little bit ahead so that the recordings will come out on their normal time. But that's behind the scenes stuff. Let's go ahead and get into our normal thing of Sorry, the brain obviously not recovering quite as quickly. The normal thing of notes and a board. Because with the board comes the board changelog. Despite Shiratama forming an alliance with Hamiyu, I've left the line between them white, especially as that alliance is predicated on blackmail. I added a square for Neidshiko, connecting it to Toro with a blue line. I connected Toro to the prince with a white line. I connected Atsufusa to Toro with a green line. I turned Shiratama's lines to asebi and Masho no Suzuki to red. I added Ukigomu and tied them to asebi with a blue line, then to the Emperor with a purple line, and the Empress with a red line. I turned the white line connecting asebi and Masho no Suzuki to green. I added Kazumi and connected him to the prince and Yukiya with a green line, and then I marked Samomo as dead, as per the end of the episode. As per also the other thing, the current location chart, I did not keep track of it. I mean, I kept track of it. People have moved. I did not keep track of the movements that I did. Off the top of my head, Atsufusa is down here, or I think previously he was in center. I believe I had the Prince, Sumi, and Yukiya down in the southern, and now they're back in center as well. So essentially, people had moved south, and now they've come back. That's basically the difference. So yeah, that is the board and the location chart, so off to notes. The North has never married into royalty, and has always put itself into fourth place among the houses. Yet Shiratama says the North dreams of an imperial marriage. Interestingly enough, assuming that she isn't lying, she says that the North is willing to give away all of the benefits of such a marriage as a concession to achieving the marriage itself. Of course, also of note is that she implies to knowing a secret about Hamiyo so disastrous as to ruin her and force her from the palace should it become known. Now, Hamiyu all but confirms that such a secret exists by her reaction to it, despite the fact that we don't know what it is. Given the fact that the Empress and Natsuka are of southern heritage, it's interesting to consider that with those heavy hitters in her corner, her secret is still enough to destroy her. Rokan is just the largest person in the entire setting so far. Feels like he could just manhandle everyone, let alone making an example of Yukiya. I guess in this instance, though, we get the insight that he has the perception to know when he's being watched, to the degree that he could identify Yukiya was the one doing it, even though it's just through a peephole. Though, in fairness, Rokan did pass Yukiya in the hallway beforehand, and he may have been cognizant of the prince sending his aide to the ravine well in advance. In my previous note, I talked about the secret Hamiyo has that could ruin her. The prince calls it The prince calls it out to her father immediately that she was adopted. However, I don't see how that could ruin her, really. She still represents the South, regardless of heritage. She speaks for the house. I mean, I can see how that might seem a negative towards the Kinyu marriage aspect, as even with that representation, it would still be marrying a nobody. I mean, I wrote that before uh, Toro says that she's still of the lineage of the South, so she wouldn't be a nobody either. But ultimately, it would also be the Kinyu's choice and no one else's. Additionally, Natsuka mentions that this wouldn't be the first time someone was adopted for this purpose, making it even less extreme than it would first seem. Well, Toro has no poker face, making it clear that it was someone else's choice to ensure Neidchiko wouldn't marry the Kinyu. My suspicion would be that the Empress is trying to have Neidchiko marry Natsuka for what she attempts to make him Kinyu. It's a hell of a threat Natsuka poses, outwardly supporting the prince in his ascension to Kinyu, while knowing that his own supporters could do anything at any time, depending on how they read the room, allowing him to give mafia-style threats. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to this place. I'd have nothing to do with it, of course. I mean, it's not great that the prince heard Yukiya say that he didn't care about him, but at the same time, I think what he did say was understandable. It's a perspective that he's made clear a number of times before to the prince, that he cares about his family and getting back home. I think the prince can understand wanting to make sure his home and family are safe. It's still a bit of a slight to directly say that he didn't care about him, though. I'd have to think that would invoke some change in their relationship moving forwards, though it's still a bit of a confusing one at the moment that I don't know that I'd recognize such a change, if it happened anyways. So the prince and Sumio's biggest secret is a group of allies that they trust their lives to, and I have to imagine, as of yet unseen. I don't know, maybe all of the horses of the kingdom are actually secret plants that work for the prince? It'd be a great spy network. Not so much sure how good they would be at protecting your life, though. Samomo, the one who talked about transforming in the past, just came back from somewhere, and it's implied to be far enough away that they must be tired. Classic dad joke in there. But the thing is, she looked scared, having delivered a box to Asebi. We discover that she wrote home to a manservant that would tell her the truth about her mother. Beyond breaking the rules, I have no idea why Samomo would look so terrified for it, especially if she hadn't read the contents. Then Asebi tells Masho no Suzuki that she got no information, which when she was clearly reading something. So another check mark in the Asebi is suspicious category. Shiratama is proposing that the royal house will side with the merchants and the warriors over the artisans and the musicians, which isn't too bad a gamble. Not to mention, of course, that the Empress and her line hail from the north, so an inherent bias already exists. Also, per the prince's talk earlier about the harm he would do to whoever he graced and finally chose, Shiratama really seems like the only one set up to be able to handle such a situation. She doesn't seem like the person who would be concerned about assassination attempts, more like the one attempting assassinations. Although I think I've already indicated before that I think Asebi is also that person. She's just putting up a front. She is performatively innocent. Alright, and my final note here. Samomo fell to her death in the midst of transforming. We've seen Yukiya transform many times in midair, no problem, but I think the conceit is that Samomo was less practiced at it. So it's possible she didn't have the time. I mean, it's also possible that she was fighting all the way down. Either way, she was ambushed at the top. Clearly, to no surprise, I suspect asebi. I anticipate that Momo found out something asebi didn't want her to, and needed to get rid of the evidence. That's my guess for now. As I said, that was my final note, so nothing really to do here but to hop on in and I guess get more information on what happened to Momo.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
That was the first time seeing this place. Place he got sent after he was no longer to be prince.
夏香様もお気づきでしょう。若宮に接触しているようだが、一体何を企んでいるのやら。いずれにせよ、災いの目は早いうちに積んだ方が良い。
But you don't know that it's trouble yet. Could be an opportunity. I don't know why I like Atsufasa so much. I just don't want him dead.
人死に。宗家の女房だとか。どうぞいつでもご命令を。
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I felt like we were about to go into the opening. Rokan's face really looks different when they pan him to the side. Like, he looked like a more generic anime character, or a character from a more generic anime, I should say. The way that they had him drawn from the side. I don't know. I think I have the same opinion of Rokan that they were all considering in the ravine, which is to say, bit of a loose cannon madman. The problem is that my boy here, Natsuka, kind of puts their faith in him to do what's necessary. It might be the element that he doesn't want to take any control whatsoever, which we do know, but also the element that, you don't want Rokan to go fucking crazy on everybody. I just think I know that Atsufasa has the best intentions at heart. I don't think he's playing a greater political game. However, he is the one with the intelligence to do so, if anybody. Rokan might be intelligent and a warrior, but I don't know that he is able to do the politics. Like, what happens? He gets in there, starts handling the politics, and then he starts stabbing people? The dude is a brute. He's a smart brute, but he's not the smartest man in the room, I don't think. Anyway, it looks like we're coming back to the credits.
どうしてこんなことが。
転落の時刻は昨日の深夜から今朝未明にかけて。がその数日前、この女房は実家に休養ができたと言い、二晩外泊している。ところが実家に確認してみると、その間に女房が顔を出したという事実。
I guess that implies the East Palace is 2 days away by flight.
大家宮は外部との接触を厳しく制限している。どうしても女房が外に出たいときは、家に帰るというのが一番通りやすい。だが実際は好いた男に会いたいとか、誰にも言えない用事があるとか。
誰にも言えない用事？
自害はないだろう。この羽の散らばりをおそらく落下しながらも必死に転身しようとしたのだ。少なくとも覚悟の上での。
Yeah, and as I said before, they're not as practiced at it because they're not allowed to do it here. Also, so they weren't wearing the clothes that lets you do it. It would explain why her arm was half bird out of it.
間違いはないのですか？様もとよく似た別人ということは。
実の弟を呼んで確認させましたので、間違いはないかと。若宮殿下の命により、
Yep, the princess's best friend, essentially, too.
皆様方にはどうぞご協力のほど。
ね
姫様お待ちよ。
あなた様は
そこなもの、ハル殿の御方の前であるぞ。
これは失礼
Again,
いた
though,
しました。
I find her to be extremely reformative. I will be shocked if we end this show and she is as innocent as she appears to be.
原因については調査中でございます。
サモモとはついこの間おしゃべりしたばかりなのよ。明るくて誰にでも優しくて。
Yeah, I imagine you talk to her somewhere between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m.
今回の件に関しましては、若宮も大変心を痛め、必ずや解決するよう言いつかっております。良いご報告ができるよう自分も全力を尽くしますので、しばらくお待ちください。
お姉様、まさかこんなことになるの。
Yeah, there we go. Like I said, her best friend as well.
サモモが死んじゃった。藤波様、しっかりしてください。どうしてなの。こんなことになるなら私なんかの女房に取り立てるんじゃなかった。そんなことをおっしゃらないで。それを聞いたらきっとサモモも悲しみます。大丈夫です。山内衆がすべてを。
Sorry, it's just moments like this that it's either she's the greatest living actor in the world, or I'm wrong.
サモモは突き落とされたか自害でもしたのでしょう。
そう考えるのが当然でしょうね。殿下直属の山内衆が出張ってきたということは、
サモモが殺されたというなら、一番怪しいのはアセビの君、あなたではありませんか。
She was lent out to you at the
サモモを
time.
抱き込んであれこれ小細工をさせた挙句、邪魔になって始末した。大方そんな。
Ah, god damn it. My problem is that was my idea, right? But when a character in the show says my idea, that instantly means that's not what's happening.
本当にお母上ともどもたちが悪くていらっしゃるのね。うちの茶の花が二の舞になるなと忠告して差し上げましたのに。
いい加減にしなさい、白玉。私たちはお互いを磨き合うために大家軍にいるのです。
I mean, this is competition.
人にかこつけてアセビをいじめるなど見苦しいですわよ。
あら、不思議ですね。マスホのすすき様はアセビの君をずっと田舎者扱いして見下しておいででしたのに、いつの間にお友達になられました
Yeah, I mean, up until you threatened us both at the pool, whatever you want to call it.
それとも焦った者同士同病相憐れむということですか。
白玉、あなたやめんか白玉。サモモは死んだんだ。少しは痛む気持ちを持て。
Yeah, remember, we're allies because you're blackmailing me.
私ども富士宮連でも調べを進めてまいります。今後もし山内衆から質問状などが来ましても、直接やり取りすることはお控えください。外部との通信はこれまで同様、必ずこの藤の花殿を通していただくこと、各自徹底をお願いします。
You mean the place has been actively hindering our communication attempts? The prince? God, this is fucking Game of Thrones, I tell ya.
私が留守の間、和美を頼んだぞ。
承知しました。
And I mean the good Game of Thrones, not the...
前に姫たちを覗きに行って、殿下が僕を突き落としたところに。
あれは覗きとは言わない。偵察だ。
はいはい、そうでしたね。けど僕、今一つあの人信用できないんですよね。
和美は善良な男だぞ。
なんで宗家にいるんだろう。ホッケで働いてるのを見た気がするんだよな。
Have we?
それはそうだろう。あれはホッケの患者だが、もともとは本邸の庭師だから。
ああ、通りで。
なかなか優秀な仕事ぶりだったので。
Also, if he's a northern spy, wouldn't you like him? You're all about your northern house, right?
どうぞお気をつけて。
I guess it's time to ask him what his wish is.
軽く言ってくれるよ。
ユキヤ殿、
私の方はいつでも大丈夫ですが。
はい。じゃあ行きましょうか。
I guess nothing says that he has to be friends with every northerner.
大花宮は外部の侵入が難しい切り立った崖の上に立っているんです。飛んで近づこうにも警備の不死身野連が絶えず空を巡回していて。
なるほど。おや、白山千鳥。ずいぶん遅咲きだな。
和美さんはどうして大花宮を見たいんですか？ぶしつけですいません。
Is he in love with one of the consorts?
知り合いというのかどうか。
Or with the ladies in waiting?
じゃあホッケの女房ですかね。あ、話したくなければ別に。
まあそんなところです。一目会えたらと思って。
なるほど、そういうこと
I
で
guess
した
it's
か。
gonna be Hamuya?
しかし若宮も
Hamio? Sorry, I don't know what name I just made up.
につけ込んで仲間に引き入れるなんて。
Shiratama?
白玉?
Wow, I guessed completely wrong. Yeah, her flashback about being like distant from everyone didn't make a lot of sense because like a plate just sitting in the middle of nowhere. I guess maybe she got like locked in a room. Coded messages, or is she just crazy right now? I guess crazy. If they were saying coded messages and the only reason that she had the knife was to cut messages up, would make sense.
かしこまりました。必ずや若宮殿下にお伝えします。
Who the hell doesn't recognize the prince? I guess to be fair, there'd be no reason why they should.
見えやしねえよ。どうせミスの向こうだ。おいカスケ、これ運んどくよ言ったろうが。はい。ぐずぐずすんな。
I guess that's a cover. Pretend to be your own guard.
このところ全く姿が見えないのです。
大方馴染みの遊女のところにでも入り浸っているのだろう。放っておけ。
トール様、若宮を侮ってはなりません。若宮が南家に少なからぬ疑念を抱いていることは七夕でも明らかになりましたでしょう。私は心配なのです。姿を消した裏側で何か周到にことを進めているのではないかと。
He's like not actively involved in any of the whole consort thing, so even if you suspected the South of something, what do we do? Well, fuck.
図に乗るな、アツフス。お前など本来は私と直接口を聞くこともままならぬ身なのだぞ。
私はただ南家を思って。
わきまえよと言っておる。
I mean, he does know his place. Sort of. I guess no. No, he completely doesn't. He's working so many different sides.
誠にありがたく存じます。その後、体調はいかがでしょうか。今年の初めに病にかかり、お顔にアバタを召されたとか。直前になって東電を辞退されるのはさぞやおつらかったでしょう。若宮殿下は今も大変心配しておいでです。
Is he Shiratama's older sister? I can't remember which one was sick. It's red, so we're in the west, right? God, all of them are like second sisters for some reason.
あの世まで持っていくつもりでしたが、若宮殿下には真実をお伝えしていただきたく存じます。私が東電を辞退した本当の理由は。
And of course, keeping a secret from us, the audience. Birds folding birds. He's a northern spy, and he's trying to find Shiratama. Is it possible that the South is passing messages to the North? I mean, they've already finished this, so it wouldn't be any reason to ruin. These Wisteria guards fucking suck. Again, I have to assume it's our northern spy. Well, shit. I was gonna just ask, do they transform back into humans when you kill them? No? Yeah, I guess they wouldn't, because Samomo's hand stayed in bird form. Meaning you would never really know, unless you already knew beforehand who it was.
お前、姫様、どうされたのです？滝本殿、一体これは何の騒ぎです？
侵入者でございます。
侵入者？
やむなき理由により斬首いたしました。
These are half suck and they're half alright.
ご覧になってしまったのです。
なんと、サモモの次は侵入者とは。 大家具の警備はどうなっているのだ。
That's what I'm talking about.
やっぱり来なかったのね。
姫様。
Okay, so it is our northern guy. And she's denying that it's him.
嫌な匂い。どうしよう。これでは若宮様に嫌われてしまうわ。茶の花、こう持ってきて、着物に炊き込まないと。
Great, she is fucking crazy.
滝本殿、ここで何があったのかご説明いただきたい。
秋殿に賊が侵入したのです。
秋殿に。
幸いにもすぐに気づいて賊は逃げていきました。
マスホのすすき様には指一本触れておりません。
その賊というのは？
おそらく窃盗団の一味でしょう。
Nope, I suspect our gardener is missing now.
あるはずの品がたびたび市場へ流出していることは確認しておりました。先日遺体で見つかったサモモはこの男とつながりがあったと。
Oh, bullshit.
このことは後日きちんと説明する予定でしたが、サモモの遺体から発見されたものです。明らかにサモモには分不相応なくし。
I imagine it's because she was given it.
さようにございます。男はサモモが盗んだ品を受け取り売りさばいていた。しかし内輪もめからサモモを殺害。そこで今回は自ら
Also remember, she said, "Don't talk to anybody, just talk to me." cutting off their ability to find out actual information.
サモモは山ガラスという話ではないですか。生まれというのはいかんともしがたいものですのね。
サモモはそんな子ではありません。あの子がいい子だということは皆様もご存知ではありませんか。
ではアセビ様はどう説明されるのですか。サモモがこの櫛を持っていたことを。
それは。
Well, one, either you planted it there, or she was given it.
浜湯。
どちらに行かれるのですか。
何事だ、想像し。
茶の花様、夏殿の御方が。
No one tries to stop her, just it's her.
様まで。一体どういうご了見でございましょう。
お前の主に会いたい。通せ。
お断りします。姫様は具合が悪いのです。
どんな状態か察しがつくよ。
Insanity.
なりません。
Yeah, but I think she could take her old ass.
お前もだ。
Not exactly who you thought was going to be the masterful leader
だいぶ答えた様子じゃないか。
of the Alliance.
あら、浜湯様、いつからそこに？お構いできなくて申し訳ありません。私に何かご用ですの？
お前もう限界だろう。宿下がりを願い出て北領に帰ったらどうだ。
それはできないのです。私は受代しなければならないのです。身の程を
Also, it feels disingenuous for Hamayu. Yeah, because she's the one that knows her secret.
そうかもしれないな。だがお前、このままではどうにかなってしまうぞ。あの侵入者はお前の知り合いだな。しかもかなり親しい人物だった。そうだろう。
Damn.
最初からここに来るべきじゃなかったんだ。間違っても東電などするべきじゃなかった。他に好いた男がいたのなら。
面白いことをおっしゃるのね。私が誰かと密会
Uh-oh.
したとでも。
Are we in a moment of clarity?
カズミとは何にもなかったのよ、何にも。そんなバカなこと
There we go. I mean, it's fairly obvious. I don't feel like I figured anything out here.
生まれてきた女ですから。私の心は私のものではないのですから。
I feel like this is the path this show is going to be on from now on. It's not like... Sorry, I'm just thinking now. Previous to this, I had just gotten done reacting to Modazu Shi, which starts off in the present, but most of the story takes place in the past. And the element of that show is that we are building up a pretty happy, somewhat happy past to a really fucked up, horrible present. And, you know, how did we get here from there? Sort of thing. And this, we established a status quo. We didn't, like, start from a happy-go-lucky position. But it feels like we're on the path towards disaster. And I feel like that's where we're at. Like, last episode, Shiratama was like, I'm in fucking control here. I've got your number, and you two bitches will do whatever the fuck I say. And it's like, oh, okay, she's the one to watch. And then it turns out she's fucking lost it the entire time. And it's like, okay. So nothing we see can be believed on first glance, which, has been my thing about asebi the whole time.
甘やかで残酷な記憶が白玉の心を壊していく。麗しい女人に化け、宮中に潜り込んだ癒しいカラス。偽りの姫君が真実を語り始めた。次回、カラス太夫。
Well, my confusion there is that the imagery and most of the description, again, seems to describe Shiratama, but that very last part seems to really describe Hamyu, right? Who Shiratama was, again, threatening to out. And that's the danger. If you try dealing with Shiratama as Hamyu, like maybe you should go up north, you're at your breaking point, etc., etc., it all feels like an obvious play to get the person threatening your position out of the way. And for what reason does she have to say, okay, yeah, I'll do that. By the way, everybody, listen to this thing I gotta tell you. There's no winning here. It's too much of a risk. If you're Hamio and you actually don't care, it feels like the move is to let her be, and maybe crazy you'll take out crazy. But at the same point, it seems like she does care. She's the only one who figured it all out and marched her ass up there. But then again, what the fuck is all of her ladies in waiting doing? They have to know what the hell's going on, unless they're so respectful of the position that they've literally not gone past the curtain. So they don't know. All they hear is ripping paper noise. I don't know. Again, I think the Wisteria Guard is up to some nefarious shit, because I feel like they're trying to paint Samomo as guilty of stuff she's not guilty of. I mean, maybe it's true. Maybe I just don't believe it, and it is true. I just don't feel like it is, because the element that she also threw out, don't contact anybody, don't contact the other guards, do everything to the Wisteria Palace, we'll handle everything. But then again, that also just fits into the fact that they're the guards, right? If they wanted to do nefarious shit, I guess they could just be doing it, because who would know outside of them? I don't know. I guess this is the element of the political play, where if too much shit happens all at once, it's really hard to figure out what is actually happening. I'm also surprised it seems like next episode we'll be going into a flashback situation. Because I said before I was confused by Shiratama's flashback we got before, where it was just like a plate with some food on it. I think that's what I was seeing. And there was no context for that, so I guess next episode we will be getting the context for it. But it feels really like she's out of the running. She's gone fucking crazy. She's grasping at straws to say that I'm the only one the prince will be with. But I don't think she's in the game anymore. And I guess also this is just another thing that I can't actually pin on asebi. So, as much as I think asebi is performatively innocent and is actually responsible for Shimomo's death, again, not for nothing, the fact that she points out that the most guilty party here has to be asebi, and it's like, fuck. The moment a character in the show says the thing that I'm thinking, and it hasn't been proven yet, is an instant point to the fact that I'm wrong. So, something else must be going on with Shimomo. But the element is that we also have a bunch of spinning wheels that are like way off in the background. Everybody who has a mother who is dead or missing or gone, and makes them like a half member of the family. A number of those are going on. The Empress's backstory with Asebi's mother, for example, that's a thing. Did the Emperor have a child with her before the Empress came around? And is that going to be a lineage that asebi is actually the Emperor's daughter, which would make her like the princess's sister? Like, there are so many conspiracy paths I could go down if I was so willing to explore them. Or not so that I'm so willing, I am definitely willing to explore them. It's just, they're not prescient enough that I don't think of them. Like, I just thought about that off the top of my head due to last episode's whole "who's your mother" thing. I don't know. I don't know. This is going to take some thought. Well, I mean, this specifically isn't going to take much thought. There's like a couple of elements from this episode that's going to take some thought. Also, that girl, the girl the princess is talking to, the girl that the prince is talking to, I've got to figure that one out too. I didn't recognize her off the top of my head, and a number of the girls that are in the Wisteria Palace are like second daughters and whatnot. And I don't know if that was no, because it's red. That's what I'm confused about. All of the handmaidens or ladies in waiting there were wearing red, which would tell me that is the Western house. And I believe she's not replacing anybody, or there hasn't been any talk of her sister that I don't remember. That's going to take. I think we're in the period now where I need to get to the notes that I'm going to take in the future before I can have any real thoughts about what's going on here. Nothing is so settled in my head right now that I can just off the cuff it. So I think we gotta wait until I get back with notes. So until then, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?